Yep.
Very cool.
There's a game that I am a little bit afraid of playing more of, Miranda. That's Chaos Heroes Online.
Woo!
That's a video game you've been reviewing. We all played a little bit with you.
Thank you for playing with me, by the way.
I watched her play some.
Tell me a little bit about Chaos Heroes Online.
So, like Dota, Chaos Heroes Online came from Warcraft 3. It was a mod. I think it was like Dota Chaos or something when it was originally going. And now it's its own thing. Apparently it's pretty big in Japan and Korea, and now we have it over here in the States.
Okay. The enthusiasm is infectious.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun with friends.
Most things are fun with friends.
But usually.
So let me say the thing that makes it why I think it's bad.
The most broken thing you can do in that game.
The most dumb broken thing. And I'm not saying this because I'm like, I don't understand it. I just think it's bad game design. You can recall at any time, and it's on a 3-minute cooldown, but you just stop taking damage, and they can't not stop you. Unless there is something that we have not discovered, they can't stop you from recalling.
Bubble her thing all the time.
Yeah.
So I think there's a way to stop that, but I never figured it out.
Yeah, like I couldn't. I
Because I
just
saw
stunned
in
somebody. I tried to silence.
saw it in my profile that you can disrupt that. And it's like, how many disruptions have you had? It's like,
It must be hard to do a rare because it never really happened to me, and I couldn't figure out how to do
Sounds
it.
yeah,
like
I know,
the
it's
worst.
immune. Unless I read that wrong and it was
Yeah.
something different. I don't know.
But every 3 minutes, you were literally invincible.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't want to do this fight anymore. See ya.
Bye.
But
Yeah, you brought up. Oh, sorry.
you can't get out of that if you're stunned, though. Like, you can't just recall whenever you're stunned.
Right, you
so
need
if
to be
you
in
are
a-
constantly taking damage and
But you could die to the back line, and if you're not stunned, you could just like spam the return key, and you're like, all right, I'm
Sure.
safe.
I don't think you can cancel out of that return, which is important,
you
though.
cannot.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you are committing
know.
to it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So if you're like, oh, the team fight's bad. Oh, never mind. I need to stay and help. Like,
So with that in mind, like, there's a lot of escape for team fights. Since you can buy items anywhere on the map, there's like a ton of like items that can just keep you sustained during a team fight, which is interesting. Like, there's pretty much a BKB that's like 100,
Cool. Okay.
100 coins.
Magic
not a lot.
Community.
Yeah.
Magic Community is a consumable, like, cheap item.
Most
Yes.
stuff is. So is lifesteal.
Yeah,
Yes.
lifesteal is a potion.
But there's another item you can buy to dispel that. So
Right.
even if you
I
bought it,
forgot
you
about
can
that.
still take it off.
And you
So
can
there's
buy
a way
anywhere.
around it. Yeah.
If you just have money, you're like, oh, I got Magic Community right now. Boom.
So one thing I really liked is that Chaos Heroes Online is very fast. You have a 50-minute time limit, so you can't go past that. And if you happen to, the game ends before that, then it goes off some weird point system that really isn't displayed during the game.
Helpful.
So it's like, well, I mean, you can kind of guess who wins based on who has the most towers, most kills. They'll probably win. But those points aren't displayed anywhere that I found, which is kind of weird. But early game, instead of focusing on pushing, unless you all group up as 5 and have like a really good tank, you have more of a focus on jungling and ganking, because your creeps don't do anything. They are the worst.
They're seriously weak. They don't even absorb tower damage well at
Like,
all.
it's a little bit hard to get farm in the early game lane.
It's hard to last hit under towers, too, because they do
'cause
so much damage.
They just take them out
Yeah.
so fast. So you have to rely on jungling, and there's like a meter on the right above the map, above the mini map, where you can kind of just see when they're back up. So it's kind of useful. And it's just a very different way to play.
And the fact that meter exists, it kind of represents a problem, though, right? Because it's saying, listen, we understand the importance of jungling because this lane sucks, so we're going to give you a timer so you're aware always when you can go back and do that. To be out of lane and in a different place. I don't know. That seems like they're compensating in a way that is acknowledging a flaw.
Yeah, but I think it's also a thing of like it's a different style of MOBA where you're like, okay, we're gonna go jungle for a little bit, and then it's time to go push because all the jungles are gone. So like, if you're doing it efficiently, you should hit it around the same time.
Sure, like there's a lot of times when I would see I had to play against bots a lot because the community isn't super big for that yet.
Yeah.
So most of my games were bot games.
That is super unfortunate.
It is, and it's kind of weird because there's an all chat in the main menu.
All chat of all players in the game.
Of all players.
So all 7 of you guys were talking?
Actually,
It's
yes, like all 7.
Usually. Or it could get more. I think you can leave the chat too, so I don't think that's representative of everybody who's playing at that moment. But he was like, "Hey, everybody, get in the EU server. We need 2 more people. Come on, please, just get in the EU server so we can all play together." So it's a weird atmosphere.
Okay.
we played some. We were looking for like the Dota analog characters, which we played a couple of, and there's some.
Ursa is the only one that matters.
Gerda-Burr.
He's just a big bear that rolls around and flops around and eats buildings.
His
and
ult
gets
is
big.
turned into a bigger bear.
Yeah.
which I love so much.
He becomes 3 times the bear and then eats buildings.
When I was playing him, I can't repeat what I was saying there, but I was screaming, "I'm an effing bear!"
That's all I did
the entire time.
I do that every time I play Earthshaker. I just roam, and every time I get a kill, I just all chat, "I'm a dog."
I was saying ridiculous stuff when we played League, and I was ganking with Darius. I was like, "You can't run from me." Darius is just too fun. Sorry, completely derailed it.
No, yeah.
I like seeing a totally different style of play. Like in Dota, it's the thing. Okay, you defend your towers. In League, your towers defend you is sort of that thing. And then in this, it's like split pushing just isn't a thing.
Nope, not at
like
all.
if you want to push, you need like a tank and tons of damage and like 5 people.
So the towers are
It's
like
a
raid
group
bosses.
effort.
Or one
Yeah.
bear.
Or what's up?
Or one bear.
One bear.
Because the bear will eat that tower.
Yeah,
There's
but
a-
he's
so
tank.
good.
He's intended for that.
Yeah.
There's like a tiny
Yeah.
equivalent who's like a rock
Crag.
man, and his ult is just like
Vomit rocks.
like he gets stronger, he hits harder, he has more armor, and like rocks just fly out of him and hit all things near him.
Like
There's no animation though. It's just like it's like a machine gun of rocks just targeting
So good.
targeting anything around him. And it's not like one streamer that's like, I'm gonna target this dude. It's just like rocks everywhere.
Maybe there are heroes that can like take towers down on their own efficiently, but like I didn't play any, didn't see any. Like it's like you're gonna be 5 and you're just gonna go.
There's a big emphasis on that, on the team fights and being together and communication. So,
Skins.
oh god. So the art is all over the place, and I hate it.
It's like a bear in armor, and he's like, "Oh, that's like Yorick from the Golden Compass, this big armor, cool bear
So-
guy." And also this lady with no clothes on.
so that's a lot of ladies with no clothes on.
Most of the ladies have no clothes on.
Also, like they'll take dudes and gender swap them and then give them no clothes.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, what character is this? Because I don't know anymore.
I'm old
And
enough
have-
now to where that annoys me. Where it's like all
very
these
annoying,
characters are
and
naked.
if there's
yeah.
no variety in that. Like, I'm okay with some busty characters, some like
Sure.
revealing clothing. That's fine. But when you don't have something else other than that, it's just bad.
Yep.
And it feels bad.
And we were talking about it. It's like it's specifically targeted. Like they know they're gonna sell more skins because those are the characters. Because you'll look at like some characters like, oh, this is a cool guy, and he has like one skin because he's a dude. And then it's like, oh, here's this skinny girl who has a sword or something.
35
30
bikinis.
skins. Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how that's so imbalanced for like who gets the skin.
Where's this game from?
Korea,
I
right?
think it's made in Korea. So, and the skins.
It's
don't
very
make sense
pandery to the
either.
Asian markets for sure.
I wasn't gonna
So
say it.
another thing that doesn't make sense is that the skins look like anime people, but this is supposed to look like
I
Warcraft
saw like the
3.
chibi versions of these characters. It's so weird.
It's not even like chibi; it's like bobbleheads.
There's one dude that, yeah, that too. Good point.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're
They look,
They're
you know,
bobbleheads.
they look like the vinyl pop figurines, like Funko Pop.
Yes.
Yeah, like their heads
yes,
are just too big, but they're not cute. They just look weird. Look
This
like
is
bobbleheads. It's just
mutilated
like,
kill
what?
me people.
Kill me now.
I mean, there's some positives here and there. Like
Sure.
it is fun to play. I think it's easy to jump in and try different heroes. Like their skills are super easy to learn.
Yeah.
A lot of them are very right-click based, but it's fun to pepper in their abilities.
Sure.
What about the dragon?
The dragon, the guardian.
They're cool.
So there's these. Each base has a dragon that just like flies around and helps defend your towers.
What a
And it's
badass.
so cool.
Can you fight the dragon, or is it
Yeah,
just
you
there?
fight it. You
okay.
have to.
Oh my god. See
So-
that? There's so many parts of it that are like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's cool. Oh, you can like knock down trees at any time and carve new paths. Okay, cool. But in the end, it's like
It's annoying to look at. It's annoying to
Yeah.
listen to. The voice acting is
it's the
Yeah.
worst.
really bad. And there's some exceptions, but for the most part, it's just please stop.
Can I have a
Stop
complaint? Can I complain?
Yeah, complain.
When you recall back to your base, you're not in the fountain that
Oh my
heals
God,
you.
yeah.
You have to
Oh my
walk
God.
then into your fountain.
That is the worst.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like
you just
I'm
go to
not
like a
doing
house. You go
You're like
home.
you're like outside of it, and you're like, okay.
You're at your
Sounds like
Citadel.
Yeah.
sounds like a MOBA
weird.
designed by people who only kind of know about MOBAs.
Yeah, it's like why am I not? In the,
I still had
okay.
fun when playing it. But
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I was saying, like we played probably about 2 hours of it, and like we were having like a ton of fun. And again, but it's also us just hanging out. It's like that's fun.
Right.
But it's like I recommend it if you want something very a different take on Warcraft 3. But yeah, I don't feel like it's something that is going to stick around for
So-
very long.
There's another mode we didn't play, together that I only got to play. It's called the Shrine of Life. So it's a map. It's like a small square. There's a river that goes around it. There's a little island, and there's a guardian that's a giant tree dude who walks around, and he's a neutral. And I could never find enough people to play with, so it was just me and bots. And that was like the biggest mistake ever, because the bots in this mode are like broken.
The AI is probably still programmed for like laning and stuff, and they're just
no,
like, where do I
not
go?
even. So there was one that would run out of the base and run back in, and the other 4 were in the top corner of the map just sitting there in a bunch. I was
In
like,
the river, right?
yeah, they're in the river.
Yeah.
And so my bots wouldn't follow me in. They're just like kind of sitting doing their own thing. So I had to like sacrifice myself to make something happen. I was like, okay.
Right.
Well, I guess I'll just jump into these guys and maybe the game will start. So.
Do you know what I think you guys? I think you told me this today. Is that you can break down trees by just right clicking on them.
Yep.
Like click, yeah.
Yeah, and then you can get outside of the lane, and you can just like wrap around almost the entire map by just like going behind this tree line, and then there's just nothing.
The edge of the map is just a
Just
line.
a void.
Yeah.
There's just like a black void.
Also, it's amazing. Like, I could carve a path through the trees and get a really great gank behind the tower. But the guy in lane is like watching trees fall down one by one. Like, what's going on over
Or
there?
you can just, go off the side of the map and just like walk over, come back behind it because it's broken.
Yeah, great.
Like just lazy design.
That's unfortunate. Your review is gonna be live on IGN soon.
Soon.
Not
Yeah.
enthusiastic.
It's unfortunate because there are some fun things about it.
Sure.
I do like that it's different. The pace is different.
Not something you'd recommend widely, I assume.
No.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Should we get out of here?